All right. So I'm playing All the Mods 10 here, and I've got wildly sidetracked with Computercraft and MineColonies. Specifically, the Advanced Peripheral mod. It has a colony integrator that lets you talk with the CC Tweaked, I guess, computer and MineColonies. And then there is a ME Bridge from Advanced Peripherals letting you talk to AE2. So basically, my citizens have various requests, and I'm trying to use the auto crafting feature from, AE2 to populate it so I don't have to do it. Now, it's not fully automatic because there's some items here, this domum ornamentum shingle slab, that you can't automate. It's made in this thing, and as far as I can tell, it's not automatic, and you gotta, throw some items in there. Taking a quick look here at my AE2 terminal, you can see that I just usually shift click and make 4 stacks at once. And I try to keep, one building style here. This is the first colony I've really ever made, like at all in MineColonies. And pretty much my builders have built the whole thing. Although there's been countless, like probably hundreds of, the script failing and me working out the bugs and sending the items, manually into here. I guess what I should have led with is this is kind of a sneak peek. I don't know, I just felt like making a video of it because it was kind of a neat proof of concept. I've gotten way into the weeds. I'm pretty sure I can make this thing mostly stable, but the problem is there's a lot of weird little bugs. And so, long story short, very much a work in progress. But I feel like it's at a good demo stage. Okay, so right now, I have a lot of future plans. Like this should be constantly updating like every 30 seconds or something, do a scan. But right now I manually initiate it. So I run my script. I don't have any output going on here, but I do have a log file in VS Code because you'll see shortly you can't look at the script in here. It's way too massive. So I use a external text editor. So basically I've got warnings saying one of my villagers wants free runners, their boots. I have to make logic that if it's looking for a boot, to just ignore that and to substitute it with like leather or gold, boots, not this nonsense with mechanism. That must just be like the first item that shows up in the loop of all the items he'll take. Gold sword, iron pickaxe. I'm surprised the iron pickaxe doesn't have a match actually. And then of course, domum ornamentum is a little tricky. And I'll be going over that maybe shortly. But this is all the stuff that got sent and then queued. I want this to update because basically queued happened and then sent happened. So those items look like they're all there except 14 and 45. Why does that not look? Oh no, okay. The numbers match. This is just so I can investigate the output. The ender chest, of course, is tied to the warehouse. And then once the items get sent there, I expect to see a courier start running around. Because my 2 builders I have here, and there's one over there, they'll just stop doing things until they get the resources they need. A couple guards running around here. So I got one guy making this university away in the back. Let's go to the warehouse here. Oh, look, the courier's doing stuff.
What is it?
Yeah, so they grabbed a few items. I basically have this chest here. The unfortunate thing is there's a bug in the script that if one of your guys doesn't have a tool, like a sword or a pickaxe or an axe or a shovel, of any type, it crashes the script almost immediately. So I haven't done it yet. I've just manually put these extras in here, but I want to have like a care package sent. So when the script errors out on like a crazy fault because they don't have a tool, I just want to send a random care package of items. I had a test of it working. So everything green that was queued got sent. Again, I want to have this kind of a live update. And I want to have another monitor too. Actually, you can pretty much read everything to do with A2. Crafting statuses, is there a CPU available, that kind of stuff. Which is getting kind of into the weeds. We're just trying to get the basic part working. Actually, first, let's just edit it in here. I got so many revisions. I don't want this one. I just want this one. Basically, it's outrageous to try to look at this thing in, in that editor, right? Could you imagine? So what I do here is I have this VS Code editor. It's free if you're not familiar with it. You basically direct it to your ComputerCraft install, like I'm using Computer 6, and then, you know, you can do it single player, obviously, if you're in a server. Unless you don't have access to the server, you're not going to be able to do this. But what was I going to show? Oh, I have a log going on here. So the thing ran, and I have it generating every day, but right now when I'm doing testing, I just delete it. So I get a fresh look at everything. The fingerprints are a really interesting thing, and Advanced Peripherals adds it. It's to do with like NBT data and like damage value, all that extra stuff that makes it hard to like, call an item. Like, how do you link an iron pickaxe to another one that has enchants versus damage, yada, yada, yada. The fingerprint is a snap. It's like a hash, I guess, of all that information. So you can compare stuff easily. And I use it for troubleshooting in here because, of course, the ComputerCraft monitors are too small to try to fit all that information. I just recently got a bug fixed with the Greystone bed. And this was an interesting thing. Let's look at a golden sword here. See how it says 128 and then 851? If we go to golden sword, we will see there's actually no recipe. Maybe I should make a recipe. Not really sure why they're asking for a golden sword. So of course we're just filling up our AE2 system. We're not making the star right now from all the mods 10. We're just filling it with junky tools. So now that there's a pattern in there, I also want to do slash, what is it called? Advanced Peripherals getHash. So that 128.851 number I trust is the same number I was talking about a minute ago. And of course you can click here, copy, and inspect it in the editor. So all that stuff's kind of neat. So if I was to rerun this thing again, we will see, is there any story here about the gold sword? See, look, there's a bug right there. The golden sword still did not behave. Oh, you know what? Did that just get made? Let's take this one out. Let's try it again. Okay, so it's actually making the sword, but it's not sending it. So after I craft, I have to send like a follow-up, send the stuff you made. Because now if I leave that sword in there and I run it again, it'll send it. And it seems to even send the pickaxe too, which is kind of surprising that it all of a sudden did that. It must have been hung up somehow. Like I said, there's a lot of bugs. You like crush one bug and then you got more, as it were. Now look at the mechanism free runners. I am pretty sure if I was to take, a couple of these, I need to get a cow essence going because I am quickly running out of leather. If I was to do that, is this off? Leave that off so I can inspect. Let's sleep. If I was to run this again now after I gave the colony, time to update, we should see that it's no longer asking for the mechanism runners because the boots satisfied it. So I have to have some kind of alternative thing going on that if it's asking for, boots, chest plates, it'll ask for wild stuff from mechanism. Just send it like a leather care package. Maybe in the future, there's tiers in a description text that you can read, and maybe I'll do some kind of fancy filtering on that. But like I said, for me, this script is getting pretty unmanageable as it is. It'd be nice just to have it working, bare bones without too many errors. Like right now, a real significant one that of course I can work around. Where's this builder? If we do recall, so you got lots of stuff, don't you? I don't want you to have any tools. So you should be pretty upset pretty soon when you realize you don't have tools. I wonder how quickly he'll get upset. Not yet. I suspect it'll take time to populate. No, still there. Whoa. Look at that. So my builder doing the university has clearly not been needing his tools. He's just been running around placing blocks. And he just asked for a bunch more. So here's a good example, actually. No match found for domum ornamentum shingle slab. Well, it's like, what is that? A shingle. How do you do shingle slab? It's like this thing, right? But it's the material and the support in the description text that's hard to to understand. So what I'm going to do is quickly edit the script. I just realized I was talking for a minute without even having the VS Code in the recording. Where was I? Okay, so this line here, no match found for this. I've decided to crudely add this line just to get some diagnostics on the shingle utility. So I want to serialize the colonies request. And so there's all kinds of weird stuff going on. I'm definitely not going to try to explain this script because I don't even understand it, to be honest. It's like a Frankenstein at this point. The colony request, there's two types of item packages that I'm trying to parse. There's what I have in the AE2 bridge, which is like bridge. And then there's what I have in the request, the colony request. They're two different item tables that I have to kind of parse through. So I want to find the overall request must be the name of the item. So I want to do serialize the request to kind of see the whole data package of that item. Okay, let's send this stuff before we run the script again, just to give it time to not be mad. You know what? Look at that. There's a little gear there. I don't know if you can see that. He's upset. So now when I run the script again, I promise it's not the edit I just made. It's going to be unhappy. And it worked. That actually floors me that it did not crash. Oh, it's because he's looking for something else. I don't get the crash, to be honest. Let's stop pretending I do. So nothing red in here. That's a good sign. Okay, let's look at the colony log here. And so at this timestamp here, I guess, what is it, 4:8? What is this timestamp? 15:30? It's like 8:30. The builder's hut, a pressure plate. Usually what I try to do when I'm linking the items, like I said, was using the fingerprint, except if you have a count of 0 items in your AE2 system, like you've got 0, but there's a valid pattern, it doesn't see the fingerprint, which is kind of annoying. So then I use the name. But the weird thing is the name is down in this items table. So there's the request item table has, like, you know, states, target, who wants it. It has a name, but this name's not right. It's got some weird formatting. You actually have to, but the count is right. But you have to drill down into items to find the actual name, the stack size. This count is always 1, which is really weird why it's there. I've never seen it anything else but a 1. And then components is like your NBT data. I guess they got rid of NBT and it's now components. And then of course the nice display name. But what was I going to say here? So extra shingles is probably the guy that we could not find a match for. So look at this. This generic shingle slab has this fingerprint, 7782, and it's going to tell me that it is brick extra and oak planks. Now I don't exactly know by looking at this which is which, but all I know is extra, oak planks, and the fingerprint is going to be this number. That's kind of the real crude way of doing this, but obviously I'm going to want this information, you know, nicely displayed on a monitor in the game, so the player knows, okay, this is the type of shingle I have to make, because most items are going to be auto-craftable, but a few of them are going to have to be, you know, the user doing it. And then cobble extra is this weird thing. So we go to this table that unfortunately we cannot automate, and we know it is not a shingle, but a shingle slab. It's this weird peak thing. So we click on that, and I'm not exactly sure if that makes sense. And notice in my script, there's a top and a bottom, and then here there's, like, you know, oaks on top, cobbles on the bottom. I don't think it actually corresponds. So let's do one of those. So that number doesn't ring a bell. So I'm going to throw it in my system here. I don't exactly remember the number, but I feel like that was not it. And this is the inversion, right? So let's just assume, shift click, make 4 stacks. This has to be it, right? 2.8. I'm not even sure if that's it now. Now I got to check. Okay, this is really funny. Based on this number, neither of them are right. So what am I? Like oak planks, but brick extra. Brick extra and oak planks. Oh, this is maybe not cobble. This is maybe a new item type that I'm not familiar with. Brick extra. Well, all this junk can just clog up the AE2 system. That's why we have it. So what is brick extra? Oh my goodness. Brick extra. This is not good. Oh no. Okay, so brick extra. That really sucks. Okay, we have to smelt. That's not what I want. just this guy, right? Do we have a clay essence? I don't even know. 64, 64. Good, good, good. Go here. So let's go to smelting. Okay. And this one can just go under extended generic. Everybody's tucked into bed, so it's nighttime again. Okay, let's craft 100 of those. Probably could make a few of them, right? Oh, this is going to be slow. So this is why it's so important to have that get hash thing, because just right there, I made a complete oversight. Hopefully, I can format it in a way on the screen that makes it, easier to see, more obvious. I do think too that the complexity of what I'm trying to do here might require, more monitors. Like I said, a monitor just for what AE2 is doing, and then this is kind of like a overall monitor. But then we're going to want a monitor explaining the manual crafts. Like we're going to want to segment what can autocraft versus what has to be done manually by the player. Okay, I'm pretty sure this was oak. Because of the expensiveness, brick, extra. See, the shingle material and the support material descriptions don't actually show up in the tag, I don't think. So let's do this. Let's do this. Does this look familiar? Negative 77. It is a match. Okay, so shift click, slam those. And I am just getting so many leads from... Okay, those are shift clicked in the system. Let's try running this again. Let's send this. Give it a minute to update. I don't want to ask for too many duplicates. And notice the problem too when I was discussing the ender chest over there, how when you upgrade the warehouse, your external ender chest funneling items into the warehouse breaks. You can't add more shelving because the couriers won't know about those pieces of data. So it's kind of, you don't want to plug it with too much junk, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So what do we got here? So now we got a colony banner we can't make for MineColonies, a stone pressure plate, a gold sword, and the iron pickaxe. So like overall, I want to say it seems to be working based on, all the issues I have had. I've worked out a lot of bugs, but clearly the pickaxe and golden sword is still bugged because we can see that it's got a pattern. So that's cool. But a lot of junk got sent, saves me from counting. Overall, I thought this was kind of neat and I wanted to share it. Very cool mod.